back to Mohawk Motors, everybody. My name is Jason. As you just saw, got the bed on this thing. I've actually done more than get the bed on it. The bed is all bolted down. The body mounts are all torqued down. Front end, everything except the hood and the lower valence is back on, back assembled. I do need to get, these headlights aren't gonna do, so I'm gonna have to get a new set of headlights, but that's not a big deal to change out. And you can see also, I added some Nerf bars, some step bars on this one. I had them here off of another truck that I took apart, and this thing wound up being taller than I planned on / expected it to be. I guess combination of the 2-inch lift and tires that are like 4 inches taller than stock. So overall the truck's like 4 inches higher than stock. So it wound up being a bigger difference than I thought it was gonna be, but I think it looks good. And it'll still, I mean, it's still the stock torsion bar, still a stock spring, so it'll still ride really nice. I need to get the tailgate on it. I think I'm gonna do that now, actually. And I have a set of new tail lights for it, so I'll get those put in as well. So the bed, the tailgate will be good. What should we do back here? Like, this bed has obviously been used, but it's in, I mean, it's clean. It's not rusty. There's not a speck of rust on it anywhere. But do I put a plastic bed liner in it from a truck that I have? Do I spend the money and get it rhino lined? What's more appealing? Drop it in the comments. What would you guys look for? Would you just want it how it is? Would you want it with a spray-in bed liner? Would you want it with a GM drop-in bed liner? And would it make a difference to you as far as what you're willing to pay? So what's left now? Get the hood on it, get the tailgate on it. Unfortunately, in all these parts trucks, I don't have a single good rear bumper. So I had to order a rear bumper for it. That'll be here in a few days. Oh, I gotta look around here and find a good front valence to go on down there. Still a few things to do, but man, it's coming along. It's been a busy day. Been getting after it down here, but a lot of progress. I gotta get the brakes bled also. So I think that's it for now, this update. I'll pick you guys back up in a little bit. Man, this thing runs good. So smooth. So I think I'm calling it for today, guys. Still got a few things to do. I still got to get the valence, the lower valence on the front bumper. Got to get the hood on, obviously. You see I have one fender flare. I got to get the other 3 fender flares put on it. As it is, I don't know if you can tell here, but that won't pass inspection with those tires sticking out like that. But the stock fender flares, they'll have enough, they'll add enough that it'll be good to go. And I really like the way the truck looks sitting on these wheels and tires. I gotta get the rear bumper on it. When that gets here, I had to order a little trim piece for the tailgate handle. You can see I got my new tail lights that I had on it. Got the nice tailgate back on it. Rear drive shaft is in. This thing is almost ready for me to move it over to the lift and get through the brakes. What do I gotta do? I gotta bleed all of the brakes. And then we gotta get the parking brake cables put on. I have new parking brake cables and tidy up the mess. And I'm sure there's probably a few other little odds and ends that aren't coming to mind right now. I should make a list. But that's it for right now. Going up to have dinner, spend some time with the family, and see you guys when I get back. Well, it's a few days later, everybody. I've been chipping away at this little project. And well, I'm getting ready to stick the fender flares on. Now this was an original to the truck fender. It already had the flare on. I didn't have to mess with that one. But This fender's from another truck, so I've got the flare to stick on this one. And I figured I would show, like, these are super clean fenders, not a speck of rust. And then I've got the pair for the rear also, and just showing, since whoever buys this truck is probably going to want to see this stuff. No rust at all on this thing. I mean, super clean all the way around. And this side, same way. I mean, it's one of the nicest beds I've had. And it's fitting for one of the nicest trucks I've put together. So I'm gonna finish, and in case you're curious what I use, you know, obviously these flares are held on with some plastic push connectors on the inside. And then around the outside edge here, they get adhesive. And I like this stuff. It's made by 3M. And they just call it a double-sided foam tape adhesive. And this stuff works awesome. As far as I mean, if it's not the same stuff they use from the factory, it's a really good copy of it. And I've stuck on dozens of flares and never had a problem. That stuff works great. It is important to get everything clean, get all the grease off, and then all at a reasonable temperature. It's 65 in here, which is within the operating temperature range of that stuff. So I'm gonna get these flares on. I did get the brakes all bled out. That was a bit of a battle. You know, filling a pretty much entirely new brake system has its challenges, but got that sorted out. I've got all of the rear suspension tightened and torqued to spec. I like to have the vehicle as close to driving weight, normal weight as possible before I tighten all the suspension and sitting at ride height. So all the suspension is tight in the rear. The front suspension, I have a few more tweaks to do. I want to get this thing sitting nice and level. And once I have it sitting level and I'm happy with the front suspension, then I'll get the control arm bolts torqued and set up in the front. I'll do a tape measure alignment on it here at the house. And then once we get it through enhanced inspection, I'll take it and I'll get a professional laser front end alignment done on it. So I think that's it for now. I'm gonna keep chipping away. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Calling it for the evening, everybody. Got all the fender flares on. I'm happy with how they look. I'm happy with how they're adhered. And it's late. It's after midnight, so I need to go up and get some rest. And we'll come back down here and get after it again tomorrow. I got to get the hood put back on it. I got to get the little valance put back on the bottom of the front bumper. And then it'll be time to get it up on the lift. I got to get the parking brake cables put on it. Once the parking brake cables are put on it, hopefully my rear bumper will be here. Once the rear bumper is here, I think that's it. So we're close. See how far we get before the end of the week. All right, well guys, it's the next evening. I'm actually wrapping up for the evening. I just figured I'd show you what I got done. As you can see, I've got the hood on the truck. It lines up really well. I'm very happy with that. That's a really clean hood too. So I've got that on there. I got the lower valance on around the fog lights. Needs a good cleaning, but otherwise good to go. And I think tomorrow I'll get it up on the lift so I can get the parking brake cables put on it. And then I might be stuck until my rear bumper gets here. So either way, a little bit more to do on it tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. All right, everybody, it's the next evening. I've actually just been tidying up a bit, doing some final checks on this thing, making sure all the fluids are full, everything else. And it's time for the first test move. I have not moved it under its own power, and I'm not going far. I really just need to shimmy it over this way a bit so I can get my wife's van in on the lift tomorrow to work on it. But I figured you guys might as well get to see it move for the first time under its own power. And that'll probably be where I wrap it up for this video. So let's get this thing shimmied over. Ta-da! Oh, I think a little trimming of the front valence may be necessary to clear these tires. Maybe. We'll see. I still don't have it quite set to final ride height, but we'll get to that in the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.